What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Wednesday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt. Coming off of a 2-1 night last night, but if you are on our Discord channel, which you always should be, bettingpros.com/chat, I told you what to do. First period under, second period over. I like the game over. I was worried about that. The third period got loopy. Second period went over easily. So really a 3-1 night if you guys were on the Discord channel. So if you're not in there, it's easy. Bettingpros.com/chat is the invitation to join. Daily Juice, and then there's a DJ Picks, Daily Juice Picks, where I'll come in and say, okay, this is the time, try to fire on something. And so I had you guys fire on that last night for the second period over. We get the game wrong, unfortunately, but the Reds win, so it's a 2-1 day for us. So winning day on a Tuesday as we head towards a Wednesday. Okay. Right here at the top, I'm going to give you kind of an extra play. There is nothing from a line perspective or a total perspective out for the College World Series game between Florida State and Tennessee. These two teams already played, and they scored over 20 runs. What will the line be is what I want to see. If it's anywhere around 11.5 or 12.5, I think betting over is the play. But the books may play defense with this, and they may make it 13.5. If it's that, I would probably pause. But I'll tell you if I'm going to bet the over in Tennessee and Florida State at the College World Series today, I'll tell you that in the Discord channel, on the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat in the DJ Picks channel. I'll tell you what I'm doing with that. So stay tuned for that. So that could be an extra. So we could have 4 plays going today based upon what that number is going to be whenever we see it put up. But there's nothing out at the moment. I got to see what that total is before I play it. But I do think that game's going to have a lot of runs. Elimination game for Florida State, not for Tennessee, but for FSU. They got to win to stay alive. The only way they win is by scoring runs. They were up big, if you remember, and then Tennessee came storming back. The Vols offense can score a lot of runs too. So just a feel with that, if you will. So we're going to go with an overplay, but I don't know what the number is, so we can't play it officially yet. What are we doing? We're going to play a couple of WNBA games today, okay? I mean, this is going to be the MO here. We're going to bet some WNBA because I don't want to bet a lot of baseball. I got one baseball bet to give you guys here, but for the WNBA, we're going to start here with the Mystics and the Fever. We just saw this. Okay, this game was just played. It was 85-83, the win for the Fever on the road. This is now the Fever at home, where they're 3-4, and the Mystics are 1-7 on the road. That's not very good. The Fever are starting to play pretty well. Okay, you start to see what they're doing. Caitlin Clark is starting to really put up some points. These numbers are going to be inflated. I'm not going to lie to you. I think 4. Maybe this number should be lower than that, but the Superbook here in Vegas has it at 4. It opened up at 4.5. The first play at Superbook came in on Washington. I don't really agree with that here. I like the way the Fever is playing. The Mystics haven't been able to score very much. Although the Mystics, if you don't like the Mystics -4, the Mystics on the year, they're 11-4 to the over. Excuse me, Indiana's 11-4 to the over. The Mystics are 7-7. Indiana games have been going over regularly, and I think here at home with a 166 total, I think the over could be a play here as well for Washington and Indiana. But I'm just going to lay the 4 points here and see this. They're on the road. They won by 2. They're at home. I think the Mystics are going to have a game here. Mystics got a nice win over Chicago. I faded them against Chicago. Bad on me. Fever playing well. Now I'm back on them. Home game here with a team in the Mystics who are really not that good and really bad on the road. Lay the 4. Indiana -4 for 1.1 units. Not done in the W, as they're calling it now. Vegas at home against Seattle. We just saw this game. Okay? We just saw this game. And I bet against the Las Vegas Aces. And I was like, man, I thought Vegas was going to win. I liked them a lot. Storm went in, won 78-65. Smoked them. Just smoked them. They were, 9-point dogs in that game? Did it close that? They were 7.5-point dogs. It closed, but it was up as high as 9. Crushed them. Chelsea Gray is coming back for Vegas. Monster. I mean, absolutely monster for them to come back. Seattle's 5-4 on the road. Vegas is 3-4. I lean towards Seattle. Okay. I lean towards Seattle again. At 6.5, I lean towards the dog. Okay. Taking plus 6.5. But I do think with Chelsea Gray, we're going to see a more potent offense, a faster pace for Vegas. The Aces this year are 7-5 to the over, but they're not great. At home, they're 3-4 straight up. I think this team, they're 3-9 against the number this year. That's horrible. Seattle's 9-5 against the number. That's tremendous. These two teams just played. Storm won the game outright, like I mentioned. But I think you've got a chance to see Vegas. We bet Vegas over 172 in their last game, and we pushed on it. It was a game that Vegas lost 90-82 at home to the New York Liberty. Vegas has lost 4 of 5 games, including that game against Seattle. But getting Chelsea Gray back is huge. I don't know about the side. Again, I lean towards the dog. I lean towards plus 6.5 for Seattle. Maybe Vegas wins, but I think Seattle keeps it very close. They're a great ATS. But the Chelsea Gray, her addition, I don't know what that does except for offense. I think the Vegas Aces offense will finally look like an offense like we've been expecting for them. And I think this number is just a little bit too low for that very reason. And I think we're going to get offense here for Seattle and Vegas. It's 169.5. This number opened up at 168. It's been bet to 169.5. Some books are already at 170. We're going over 169.5 offense for Seattle and Vegas with Gray back in the lineup. Expect Vegas to push the tempo more and go more up tempo. Okay, one baseball bet for us. Wednesdays are quickly becoming like Sundays. I'm not in love with it at all. But look, the Mets have won 7 games in a row. The Rangers are bad. Bet the streak. 7 wins in a row. This whole, ever since Grimace throughout the first pitch thing is a little bit dumb. But Andrew Heaney has not been good. He's 2-8 with a 4.19 ERA overall. Andrew Heaney at home has a 5.08 ERA. He's 1-5 with an opposing batting average of 229, 16 earned runs in 28 1/3 innings worth of work, 5 home runs given up. And Andrew Heaney has lost his last 2 starts, 3 earned runs given up in both, a 3-1 and 3-2 loss to San Francisco and to Seattle. I don't like Andrew Heaney at all. I don't like Texas, really, their offense with the way that they're playing. And the Mets are red hot. The Mets are scoring. Sean Manaea is pitching for the Mets here, 4-3 with a 4.11 ERA. But Sean Manaea on the road, 2.81 ERA. He's 3-0 with a 234 batting average, 8 earned runs given up in 25 2/3 innings worth of work. Mets money line. It's only minus 105. Mets money line. Let's go to 8 wins in a row for the New York Mets. 1.05 units down. Mets money line for us here on a Wednesday. All right, 3 bets, maybe 4. We're going over 169 for Vegas and Seattle. The Fever -4 at home against the Mystics. Mets money line at minus 105, and potentially the over for Tennessee and Florida State at the College World Series, depending upon what happens with that number once it does post. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt every single morning. It's the Daily Juice Podcast.